South Africa, Australia, Eastern and Western Europe, and North and South America. This year, more than ever, young rookie superstars will be pushing for gold against a cast of X Games, Gravity Games, and ASA champions, as all of rollerblading's elite converge on Las Vegas, Nevada to battle for skating's crown jewel, the ASA World Championship title.
Exciting all weekend long. No better place than Las Vegas, Nevada to hold the grand finale of Aggressive Inline, the ASA World Championships, and what a season it's been.
It really has. It was shaping up to be a three-horse race on street between Sven Bokers, who has had more victories this season than any other skater, including the Gravity Games and the X Games. And it was between Sven Bokers and the two American stunt skaters, Jaron Grove and Aaron Feinberg. But late in the season, we have seen the arrival of Santiago Asperua, who is peaking at just the right time, winning 2 late season tour victories,
including the last one in Toronto.
Absolutely.
On Vert, Eito Yasutoko is out. Eito Yasutoko has won more events than anybody else, and because of that, it opens the door wide open. The only 2 events he lost, first of all, Gravity Games. Matt Salerno peaked at just the right time. He's taken a big victory this year. The other one, the last stop in Toronto, Shane Yost won. He was last year's Rookie of the Year. This year, he's already got 4 big wins under his belt. Every event Eito won, younger brother Takeshi took the silver. This could be his chance as well.
That's right, and there's 2 other Vert skaters you've got to consider. 2 veterans, Cesar Moore from Australia and Ty Chris from France. Both these guys know how to win big events, but they have yet to pick up a victory this year on the Pro Tour, but they live for big events like this.
After 12 competitions around the world, we are down to our final 10 competitors on Vert. Each one's going to get 2 50-second runs based on a 100-point scale, and only the better of those 2 runs will count. And who better to kick things off than the Wombat, Matt Salerno, last year's ASA Vert World Champion.
It's been a quiet season for Matt Salerno, at least as far as Matt Salerno is concerned. We're used to seeing him in the victory column a lot. Matt Salerno did pick up a couple of victories this year, including the Gravity Game, so we know he can raise his game at the right time for the big events. Well, this is a pretty big one. He's defending his title in the World Championships, and that defense begins right here.
Well, there's not many people who have had such a competition legacy. Look at his trademark 720 going up huge. He showed up in 1995 at the first ever Extreme Games and won street, and that's when people realized he was the all-around skater for both street and vert.
Matt Salerno, that 720 was about 7 feet out. This is what he's known for. He's got so many tricks. He can spin both ways, the 720s, the 540s. There, as he shows us, the flat spin. And he does it all with such style. He is so controlled on those skates.
Using the big extension there with the nice invert.
Also like how he's incorporating the grinds in his run there with the soul grind. We already saw the alley porn star. Getting all the elements in here and staying on his feet, finishing with the big fakie 900. Very solid run for Matt Salerno.
Good combination, a great line, mixing up the grinds and the huge airs there to highlight the massive 720 earns him an 83.50. That's the number everybody's going to be chasing, including young Takeshi Yasutoko and, of course, the strong field of Europeans.
The ASA World Championships is brought to you by L2 Jeans, altitude tested by Team L2, by Sega, taking gamers where gaming is going, and by Naya, pure spring water, hungry for life, thirsty for Naya.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada and the ASA World Championships. We're here on the vert ramp. What are the judges looking for? Well, this is a loose interpretation: style, creativity, consistency, and difficulty. In other words, who can bust out the best tricks and make them look the best in 50 seconds. Andre Engelhard, he eked his way into the final. Had a little bit of trouble on his first run.
Well, it's worth noting, Mark, that he is the only American in the vert finals, qualifying in that 10th spot. Having a tough time in the first run, but remember, only the better of two runs counts in the final, so he will have another chance. Now we're going to take a look at the European Amateur Champion from last year. On his first year in the Pro Tour, already making it into the World Championships, into the finals, Nel Martin. Nel Martin's got that European style. He has the great spins, but that's where he really separates himself from everyone else on the vert ramp, is on the lip with those tremendous grinds. Taking the alley-oop topside sole all the way across the coping, and look at how he works that elevated bar.
If you miss, your run is over pretty much. He nailed it twice and then went for the stale 900, just missed it, slid out at the bottom, but so far good enough for second.
Sven Bokhorst, another European, familiar from the street course. Sven Bokhorst has won more contests this year on street than anyone else, but he's no slouch on vert, starting out with a huge 720, and he's another guy who really can establish his dominance on the lip, bringing some of that street style. Looks like he set, here we go, alley-oop fish brain, and then rewinding it the other way. That's something that, in fact, all these tricks, Sven Bokhorst is one of the few guys on vert who can do that. True spin alley-oop topside porn star, putting on a technical demonstration here in this vert run.
And what this run lacked in amplitude, he held together with a 74 because of his technical ability. Up next, Takeshi Yasutoko. You see that number 14. Well, last year he made it his mission to go higher than everybody, and this year he came back with some new tricks like that, the Viking flip.
The youngest skater on the Pro Tour, and he goes higher than anyone else. He can hang with the big guys. In fact, few can approach the height that young Takeshi Yasutoko is able to reach on the vert ramp.
Started doing triple switch-ups this year and then changed the switch-ups at the X Games to make them even more difficult. Many second places, a couple of firsts. Takeshi Yasutoko has got a real chance here to win gold.
From the first family of vert skating, his older brother Eito Yasutoko, who has kept him in that number 2 spot most of the season, now is out of this contest. He is injured, so Takeshi Yasutoko knows this is his chance to shine. He can go for that number 1 spot, starting out with these big airs, and then upside down with the Viking flip, completely inverted, tweaking out that method grab, and forward 900.
These kids are dedicated to progressing their skating every day. You can see the little subtleties of what he's doing up here. That comes only from hours and hours of practice back home at the Good Skates Japan skate park.
It's amazing the lines that he puts together, the tricks that he can link back to back, going from a forward 900 straight into a 720, straight into that fakey 270 backside grind, and then trying to drop it down mistrial. Mixing up 3 variations on the coping, and then straight into a forward 540. No wall is wasted, and that's what separates these top guys from some of the guys who finished down 5th, 6th, or 7th place.
Yeah, he knows it. That was a great run for Takeshi. Here he is on the coping. Beautiful switch up, finishing it off with the sweat stance. That was new late in the season, and that puts him right now in first place.
We asked Ty Chris what it's going to take to beat the Yasutoko brothers.
I think I have to do perfect, you know. For sure, if I do a small mistake, I miss a trick, and then directly it will be out. But I think my advantage is just to have a nice run, really complete of every trick, every piece of the ramp, every trick high enough and nice. Is at least what I'm trying to do.
He was well on his way at the X Games this summer, and then he took that huge fall. That dashed his hopes for a medal there, but he is looking perfect so far.
We talked about how high Takeshi goes. Well, Ty Chris, when he was so dominant last season, was going high in the air. Already 7, 8 feet consistently and holding on to it. Now he's starting to get upside down, mixing in some tricks. Throughout practice, Ty was incorporating a lot of the different elements of the trip. There you go, soul grind over the extension. And this is really important. Ty Chris utilizing the entire ramp. This is somewhere he can earn some points, is on that creativity and line.
Such a good line there, spinning up backwards and then just going right into the backside royale. That's what he's been focusing on, just having perfect grinds, really long, almost missing it there, going right next to the roll-in.
Right, but it's really smart what he's doing. He's used every single extension out there. He's used the elevated railing. He has used every inch of that ramp. Brilliant line from Ty Chris. Difficult tricks on every portion of the ramp. That's the kind of line you want to put together if you're going to beat Takeshi Yasutoko.
Ty Chris just did exactly what he said he needed to. Look at the height, about 10 feet out with a nice stale grab, long sweeping grinds, the beautiful 900, An amazing first run here at the World Championship for him, and a 92, that's the highest score so far this season on Vert.
My pick, and I think a lot of people's pick for this competition after watching everyone skate yesterday, Tobias Buckhurst.
Nobody can beat him. No way. No way.
Everyone's praised him over the years. He's never really won that much, but he's finally coming into his own.
If he's doing a perfect run, I think there's no way for nobody to beat him today.
And here he is, Tig's protege and teammate, young 15-year-old Tobias Bucher has been just rocking during the prelims and practice.
As Cesar mentioned, everyone's been getting excited about this kid all weekend. He came to the finals with 2 new tricks, skating with a new energy. He's been good all season long, but he seems to have a new fire here at the championships. The only skater to bring new tricks, actually, to this event, at least from what we've seen in practice. There you go. That's one of them. The 1080, no problem.
And he goes right into a fakie 900, then pops up into the topsoul.
Yeah, a brilliant line so far from Tobias. True spin, alley-oop topside porn star. Every trick has so much difficulty, from the spins to the grinds, and headed for that channel. Oh! True spin, alley-oop topside porn star over the channel. This, I can't even begin to express how difficult this is. That was an amazing run from young Tobias Bucher.
You know, the only problem with this run, the only problem is that once he landed that final trick, he stopped his run and he still had time to go. But check out the difficulty, and he just lands it perfectly, comes out fakie.
Definitely the best trick of the contest, and a brilliant run, but not using those last 10 seconds hurt him. You see him sitting now behind Ty Chris after 1 round of competition.
The battle for world champion is heating up, but so is the quest by Shane Yost and Cesar Mora to end the year at number 1.
Cesar is the guy who really can impress, you know. He like in the extreme game, for example, if he arrived to make this 1080 3 meter high, so perfect like in the X game, he have his chance, you know.
Welcome back. It's the 2000 ASA World Championships.
It's the first time I have been in one so huge hotel. It's incredible, you know, the casino, everything, the Circus Circus is pretty cool. You know, there are a roller coaster and magic show and all the crazy things, you know, for the kids, you know, and it's really fun.
Circus Circus has an adventure theme park, and it makes it a lot of fun to be there. They can go to roller coaster, they have a lot of fun.
And it's really fun.
And I just say, check it out.
Back inside on the vert ramp, Shane Yost feeling the pressure.
Shane Yost yesterday had a bad accident, knocked his front tooth out. It's a battle between me and him for the end of the year, basically for the top ranked skater. So he's a tiger and he'll fight and he'll just pull everything out here. I know how he is.
He can win every day. He can win on any given day, basically, because he skates so well and so consistent.
You got to fear the man. You don't know what to expect. You know, he might just totally flail or he'll just pull everything out on land. And I'm hoping he just does his best here.
Just to follow on what Cesar was talking about, you never know which Shane Yost is going to show up to any given competition. He's just as likely to pull out a victory as he is to knock himself right out contention.
Well, Yosti, last year's Rookie of the Year on vert, sits atop the rankings, a mere 17 points ahead of Cesar Mora, which means the pressure is on. Every placement counts.
Going for the switch 1080 and falling down. This is what we're talking about, but I like what Shane Yost is doing here. He knows that the Tour Championship is on the line, but he wants the World Championship as well. He wants to win this thing outright.
7th place, that means he moved up 1 spot. The pressure's on Mora. He has to get 3rd or better.
Every year we crown a new world champion, but there will only be one king of vert, and that title will forever belong to Cesar Mora. Every modern vert skater will cite Cesar Mora as a major influence. Cesar's pioneering spirit deserves much of the credit for the state of vert skating. But this season we saw him kiss his number 1 ranking goodbye. This is his last shot to reclaim number 1 and to continue the legacy.
Cesar already getting some great amplitude well overhead with the huge rocket.
That's what Cesar's got to do if he wants to regain that #1 spot. He knows that what's gotten him to where he is getting up in the air. Big airs from Cesar Mora, stalling it out, setting up for a huge 1080. We heard Ty Chris talk about it earlier. He said he was remembering when Cesar Mora did that in the X Games, which he won. Well, Cesar Mora brought it out here, but you got to do a whole run upside down on the invert frontside royale. Cesar Mora trying to use every corner of the ramp. Don't know if he's got enough tricks. Remember, we saw skaters like Takeshi and Ty using every single wall to pack in as much difficulty as they could. Cesar Mora, to this point, has not utilized every single wall as well as some of the other top skaters.
A great run, finishing off with a 540 disaster revert. I don't know if all the progression was there.
Let's take a look at this 1080 3 full rotation. Cesar was the first one ever to land that in competition. Remember, he needs 3rd place or higher if he's going to reclaim #1.
4th, 85.25. Cesar Mora takes 4th. He misses a medal, and he misses #1 by less than 1 place.
Talking about the Australian legacy on Vert, the history is long and proud, and Manuel Boliris played his part. Still competing, he's been on the Pro Tour since 1994. Always a top competitor, not really in contention here at the finals. Finishes in 7th place. But young Takeshi Yasutoko, he is right in the thick of the hunt, going for that #1 spot. Hard to imagine what he could do better than the first run, but he's got to come up with something if he wants to improve into the #1 spot.
He's been on the Pro Tour since he was 9 years old. Lots of experience. There's the nice 900. He needs to be very consistent.
He also needs a new trick or something big. Well, first he needs to stay on his feet. That's not going to help. Takeshi's going to have to stick with his first run score, so he's not going to move up. But Matt Salerno still has a shot, and he's coming up next. But first, we're going to take a look at Matt Salerno, get to know this L2 rider a little better in our ASA profile.
Matt Salerno.
No one really has Matt's style, you know.
I think he's personally one of the best skater in the world.
He's not human when it comes to skating.
Anything that he does look good, even like air, just a simple air look good. I don't know, like it's just natural, comes from him, you know.
He can do any trick on any rail with style.
So he's just an amazing skater.
He can skate everything.
He's already done enough in this sport to cement his name in history as the greatest skater in inline skating on Vert, or street, everything together.
What? Hello? I started off slow, I came over and my ear was kind of sluggish. I wasn't really doing too much. I could be the best skater in the world, but this world's a big place. Just gonna see how I do right now. I'm just trying to get back into the groove. I'll skate at home and I'll be doing tricks, but when I come to America, for some reason I just don't do it. Music's a big part of my life. I kind of use mixing music to get away from skating. Definitely music and skating are the two biggest things in my life. I would not be sitting here today if it wasn't for my father. Cesar Mora is to me, the other really way to describe it is he's my big brother. Cesar's a great motivation speaker. He's gonna hate that I said that.
He has the potential. He doesn't even know it, but he has unlimited potential. He can do everything, and he's just too lazy. He doesn't want to get hurt, and it makes me mad. It really pisses me off.
Cesar talks crap on him because Matt never he just gets by doing what he does, and he never pushes himself. He says he'll do a trick, and he just doesn't do it. But Cesar and we all know that he can do it.
I would want to skate like Matt Salerno. It's just a beautiful style. It's perfect balance.
Coming from a guy like that, someone that you look up to, I don't know. Here, you have your bat back now. I'm leaving. Oh, let me out of this bloody thing.
He's been a Gravity Games champion, an X Games champion, and ASA World champion. His final shot at gold when we come back.
You're chilling with the Macho Man Randy Savage in Las Vegas at the World Championships, and you ain't seen nothing yet. Skating like you've never seen it before. So don't touch that dial, because I know where you live.
Welcome back to the ASA World Championships. You've seen the rivalry before. Ayumi Kawasaki and Fabiola da Silva on Vert. The battle continued here in Vegas.
It's a familiar story. Ayumi Kawasaki taking second place behind the fabulous one. Fabiola da Silva racks up another tour title. She could have been competing against the guys out here. Big 540 straight into the 720, working the lip as well, stylish sweat stance. That's why she is the fabulous one. Fabiola da Silva, and taking it to the streets, young Fallon Heffernan, Kelly Matthews, all the young ladies, the top street skating superstars came out. Annika Winter from Germany, Deborah West from Texas.
Risking life and limb, going down hard but skating very well. Fabiola da Silva spinning to win. And who can forget about this one? Martina Svobodova came out very technically on the course to earn herself a gold medal at the World Championships. The rookie sensation going bigger than everybody on the street. Well-deserved, followed by Fabiola da Silva with the silver, Fallon Heffernan with the bronze. And on Vert, no surprises, the fabulous one takes gold.
Back to the Vert ramp, Matt Salerno awaits his final chance to defend his title at the World Championships. Matt Salerno on the ramp, starting out with the big mute setup air. Remember, he's got those signature 720s, about 7 foot out. Huge rocket, stalling it out. Beautiful.
Kicking out Liu Kang, then pulling it back in with a stale grab.
I love how he does that, something we've only seen recently from him. Don't even know what to call it. Liu Kang 540, switching it up both ways, upside down with the 540, coming back the other way, switch 720.
Now, Matt Salerno didn't throw the 900 in his first run, and it looks like he's just run out of gas here. Again, a great run for Matt Salerno. Check out the 720, boom, kicking out Liu Kang.
But a very strange run for Matt Salerno. As good as it was, he really didn't take it to the next level like he needed to for the World Championships.
Tied Chris, he feels the pressure. He saw how everybody responded to Tobias Bucher's first run. He knows how good he is, so he needs to step it up again.
He's the last skater before Tobias. He knows Tobias is gunning for him, so he's not going to rest on that 92, as high as that first round score was. Ty's trying to pad that lead.
Oh!
I bet he'd like some padding somewhere else as well.
Going for the soul grind, just missing. Check it out, his back foot went over the rail instead of locking on.
It looked like he fell on his rear end, so not too painful for him, but it's kind of an embarrassing fall. But he's giving the people what they want. You know, they come to a rollerblading contest, they want to see the kids split the rails. So kudos to Ty Chris. But now it all comes down to this run. One last skater, Tobias Bucher, was in first place coming into the finals. Now he sits behind Ty Chris after one round of competition. All the pressure as he goes huge with the mute grab.
You could just see the excitement kind of flailing his arms. Now he's totally under control. Such great height.
All the skaters are on their feet. The crowd is going wild. Tobias Bucher feels the energy. The 1080 and switches it in the flat bottom. The kid is excited. You can see it in his skating. Setting up on the extension. Tobias Bucher, and remember, in the first round, he had a great run, but he didn't utilize the full 50 seconds. True spin, out of topside porn star, and he spins out of it, and he's still skating. So he should improve his score after this run. Flat spin 540. This has been an incredible run, and another new trick. Tobias knows it was a great run. The crowd loves it.
Wow, just kind of getting squirrely on the end, throwing a flip. What a great run. He kept going even after nailing the most difficult trick of the contest. Check this 1080 out. Reaching around stale, not really grabbing his feet, but such great control.
And then clearing over the channel. That's about 5-6 foot gap. Locking on true spin out topside porn star. So much difficulty. And this is shocking.
89.25. It would appear that Tobias Bucher had a much more complete second run, but he got a lower score for it than his first. The two European great friends and teammates were the best of the night. On top, Ty Chris, the world champion.
Just every trick I landed perfect. The grind were long, and I mean it was the best run I ever did. Never won in America, you know. I was always second, third, you know. Finally, the World Championship. So wow, it's really a good day for me, definitely.
Shane Yost won the battle over Cesar Mora. If Cesar has to pass the torch to anybody, I'm sure he's very happy to give it to Shane Yost. Such a great spirited competitor, both of them champions. Shane Yost finishes #1 on the year on the ASA Pro Tour.
Taking a look at the overall rankings in the iBook, we have never seen such a close race for #1, but it's between two Australians, so they keep that legacy in Australia. But look at Japan and Europe knocking.
When we come back, we're heading outside to the massive street course, and the battle continues between the greats.